Hey, what's up everyone? It's your girl Brandy Shanae. I wanted to do this video. I know it's probably old, of course, or but I wanted to do that because if you didn't get to see my booktube newbie tag video, I thought this would give you more insight about myself, especially when it comes to reading and books and so on. And so I'm doing the rapid fire tag. I might be old, I'm sorry, but I really wanted to do it, and I looked at the questions. I'm like, oh my goodness, this is fun. So I wanted to have some fun. So let's begin. And so the first question is, ebook or a physical book? For me, physical book, I like to touch them and smell them. I like the smell of books, so don't judge me. But yes, physical books for me. If it had to be an ebook, yeah, but I don't like it to be on my phone or my iPad or whatever. I like a physical copy. Paperback or hardback? I prefer hardback. They last a little longer, but if it's not in the budget and my wallet is looking bare, it will definitely be paperback because paperback is definitely cheaper than the hardback. So definitely paperback, hardback. It depends on what my wallet's looking like. The third question is, online or in-store book shopping? I prefer to do book shopping, but if it's book outlet, I will definitely be doing online shopping, but definitely in-store so I get the feel of it and just to read a little bit more about it. But to be honest, both. I'll say both. Then we have the next question, trilogies or series? To me, there's really no difference. So I like both, but a series is cool, trilogies even better, but both for me. Heroes or villains is the next question. And I like heroes, don't get me wrong, but I feel like it's such a cliche. Like, you just know the villain, like the heroes are gonna win all the time. But I think villains have a interesting backstory. I think that's what I love about villains. There's always a backstory about them of why they became a villain or evil or whatever. So I definitely prefer villains over heroes, to be honest. The next question is, a book you want everyone to read? There's two books I would like everyone to read, but I'll just answer this question. I would say The Hate U Give by Angie Thomas. I think the book is phenomenal, and it touches on the issues of what's happening in the African American community, or I should say the Black community, that's been happening, along as police brutality, assault, police shootings, etc. So I prefer The Hate U Give, which is now going to be a movie, and it's probably going to be coming out really soon. I follow Angie Thomas on Instagram, and she actually got to view her movie for the very first time, and she was just bawling, like crying really hard. And I'm like, oh my goodness, I can't wait. I just cannot wait to see this movie. I read the book, I love it. I'll be seeing her in September because she's coming to Columbus, Ohio for basically talking to us, having a discussion, and also be able to get her signature and have her sign my book, and also pictures. So definitely look out for that video in September. There's going to be a vlog. But the next book is, recommend an underrated book. I would say Heartless by Marissa Meyer. A lot of people don't like Heartless because they say they can't get into the character. They can't like get close to the character of Catherine. But I really feel like you should read it just one more time. Give it another shot, please, and then tell me what you think. If you still don't like it, that's okay. I understand. Everybody's not going to like the books that everyone likes. So the next question is, the last book you finished? The last book I finished was The Surface Breaks by Louise O'Neill, and that was just a powerful book that I loved. It's a retelling or reimagining of The Little Mermaid, and I think it was awesome. I would give it a 5 out of 5 stars because it just shows you that women have the power to have a voice and so on. I won't tell more, but yes, I'll say the last book I read was The Surface Breaks by Louise O'Neill. Great book. Okay. The next question is, the last book you bought. Now, it wasn't just a single book I bought. I bought like 7 at once, but I'll say I'll just say Winter from the Lunar Chronicles. I read the first 3 and I got Winter, and I want to read that. That's the last book, so I'll say that was my last book that I have bought, was Winter by Marissa Meyer. The next question is, weirdest thing you use as a bookmark? I use my phone. I use a pen. That's pretty much it. A pen or my phone sometimes on occasions, because sometimes I don't have bookmarks. So yeah, pen or my phone. The next question is, use books, yes or no? Don't judge me on this. I know people do get used books, but I have to say no to used books. I like the smell. I like feeling having a new copy, and you smell the fresh pages when you buy a new book. So I prefer new books, but like I said, if the wallet is not looking good, I'll get a used book, but I really prefer a new copy. And then the top 3 favorite genres, I have to say fantasy, sci-fi, and romance, which is YA and adult. So that's pretty much in my area, but I mean, you know, it's in my comfort zone, but I do plan on getting out of my comfort zone, of course. But I also like historical, though. Yeah, I like historical since I have a history degree. So if I had to take one out, I would take fantasy. I can't. I'll just say top 4 for me. So fantasy, sci-fi, romance, and historical. So yes. Okay, characters or plot? I prefer characters because I want to like, how can I say this in a way, like, I want to be close to the character. I want it to be like, oh my gosh, like, she isn't, like, when I read, I think of the character as my friend or a person that I may know, and so I prefer the character, but the plot is always also important, but I prefer the character. But then again, the plot has to be good in order for me to keep reading, so I guess the plot, or both. How about I say both? Does that count? Both. Okay, and next question is, long or short books? It really doesn't matter. I don't really have a preference. I'll read it no matter what. So if it's long or short, I'll read it because I like reading. And so the next question is, long or short chapters? I prefer short chapters because I feel like I'm actually getting somewhere, but if it's a long chapter, it's okay. I love reading. It don't matter, so either or. The next question is, name first 3 books you think of. Okay, Children of Blood and Bone, The Hate You Give, and I will say Tiger Lily. I just recently read Tiger Lily by Jodi Lynn Anderson, so yeah, those are the please don't judge me, but yes, those are the books that I think of, like, offhand, even though I read a lot more books. But yeah, those are the books offhand that I can think of, but I could come up with more, but yeah. But those are the 3 books. And then books that make you laugh or cry. Okay, The Hate You Give made me cry a lot. It made me cry. Also, I read Dear Martin, which made me cry. I read, which Dear Martin is by Nick Stone. I've also read Money's Not Coming by Tiffany Jackson. And those were all crying ones. That made me happy. I'm trying to think really hard that made me happy. I guess Tiger Lily and The Surface Breaks that I currently had just read, because it makes you think of women empowerment, and I'm all about that. I'm all about trying to be being independent, having a voice. You know, this is a woman's world. There's more women in this world than men, so it's a women's world. So yes. And then the next question is, would you prefer our world or a fictional world? Our world sucks. Sometimes. No, all the time. Depending on what it is. For me to get away, I like fictional worlds because it just takes me to a place like, oh my gosh, this is a cool world. I would love to live in it. So I definitely would say a fictional world for me. Just because fictional worlds are so cool. The next question is, do you ever judge a book by its cover? Yes, I do. I usually, if it's a beautiful cover, I will get it. Just like, I will grab it off the shelf and that's it. I'll buy it. I don't even read like the synopsis or nothing of the book. I will really just get it. If the cover is beautiful or whatever, I do judge a book by its cover. So yes, I do judge a book by its cover. The next question is book to movie or book to TV adaptations. I like book to movie, but yeah, definitely book to movie for me. Book to TV adaptations, they're okay, but I prefer book to movie for sure. I think it's, I don't know, I just like it. I prefer it. The last question, series or standalone? I mean, series are good, but then I also like a good old standalone, you know. So I prefer standalones, but series is also good, so it keeps me going, you know. But this is my video that I just did, the rapid fire tag. I know that it might be an old video or whatever preference, but I wanted to do it because I wanted you to get to have more insight of who I am as a reader, what I prefer. So please don't judge me about that, but thank you for watching. Leave me a comment down below of what I said, or if you have a question for me, let me know. Also, hit that button, subscribe, please, and also give me a thumbs up if you like this video, even though the title is something that is old. But you know what? I just brought it back. You know, things are coming back nowadays, so you know, I brought it back, I guess. But so yeah, so hit subscribe and give me a thumbs up, give me comments, and I will see you later. See ya.